Uh, Hi, and welcome back to the RF Fitness Podcast. I'm Rob Finlayson, personal trainer, elder brother, and at least one quarter dog.
Uh, okay. I'm Rachel Hamrood, client, younger sister, and minimum 85% dog.
That's probably a generous or conservative estimate
Yeah, very conservative.
because of how much just like dog, like you've told me stories about how much dog hair just like works its way like into like your flesh basically as a groomer.
Quite, quite literally.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Yeah. Shout out to all my dog groomers. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But you get hair slivers, which is
Ugh.
slivers of hair that pierce through your skin suit. And
Hold on, I need to back up. I need you to explain skin suit to me.
you've never heard skin suit?
Do you
Yes,
just mean
man.
like your skin?
I do. Your
Okay,
flesh
thank
outfit.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to stop finding ways to say that because they're each one is more upsetting than the last.
Your epidermal fashion statement.
Mm. Okay.
Mm. So anyway,
So
yeah, circling back to flesh suit, your the hair slivers can like pierce through your skin and create what I call a portal. And then like all the
okay.
dog hair goes into the portal, and then I had to get hand surgery to get a cyst taken out. That the doctor said there was like at least 15 different breeds of dog hair that he pulled out of my
What?
hand, and it was
Did he
all
do like a
different.
CSI DNA test or something?
I was like, "Can I see it?" And he's like, "No, it's like a biohazard." And I was just like,
It's a biohazard for your fucking eyes. Don't even look
"Yeah,
at it. Do not cast your gaze upon this disgusting pile of dog DNA. How dare you? It came out of your body. It came from my body.
yeah." Like I used to be able, if I could like jiggle it around enough, I could like work a hair out and like pull it out, and it'd be like 4 inches
Oh
long.
my god.
hmm
Jesus, I hope no one is eating when they listen to this podcast. Shout out to our eaters out there. Sorry.
And he did say that it had the cyst had the consistency of oatmeal. Hairy,
God, you're just ruining so many things for me right now, man.
hairy
I'm not even a big
oatmeal in
oatmeal
my skin
person.
suit portal.
Oh, we need to move to something else.
Yeah, so tip your fucking groomer because we have
For real,
goddamn
guys.
portals in our hands.
Y'all got hand portals, man. All right, Rachel wants to talk about some childhood memories that we have together, and I think that's a good. I mean, maybe not together, but like a big part of this podcast is also like getting a chance for us to, I think, bond a little bit as siblings and to relive the glory days with some very choice narratives from our younger years.
Yeah, and yeah, I thought it would be a good way to start the pod without just
Yeah,
going to just being like, "Bam, how much do you weigh today?" Though that even if that was, that's not your
softens the
style.
blow a
So
little bit, maybe.
right,
I think it
um,
provides a good context too for like our like literally our relationship as well. Like one of the things that people have said from our single episode is that we have very good chemistry together, and I'm like, yeah, duh. We've had your entire life to work on our material together. I had some
yeah,
time on my own to do my solo thing, and then that got exploded for about 4 years in. But yeah, since then we've had 30 something years to work on just being
yeah,
really
man.
funny together.
I'm saying, yeah. I think, and I think mom will have different opinions about us sharing certain stories.
Absolutely. Well, she's
Mom
not on
used
this podcast, is she?
Oh, yeah, mom used to have a rule that she said I just couldn't talk about the family outside of the house. She's like, no matter what you say, you make it sound horrible.
we love your mom,
Yeah. So now
but
I'm
we
going to
love
tell you
telling these
about
stories too.
right. So I'm going to tell you the time that Dad tied me to a falling tree.
Okay.
So it what I don't know if you were there. So
I
sorry
was
that
not.
completely.
This is new
Okay.
to me every time you tell it.
That's wild. So do you remember that giant birch tree that we had in front of
I do.
your window, like the bigger window? Yeah.
Yep.
So Dad wanted to take it down, and of course, DIY dad,
Oh
did
yeah.
not want to pay a tree trimmer, and so he was like, "I'm gonna take this son bitch down myself," and but of course he didn't want it to fall on the house. Duh. So he thought if I could just have leverage to have it fall the other way, but what could I
For,
create for
oh my
leverage
god.
other than my young daughter tied to a rope?
That, like I know we had like tent stakes and like a car and stuff
Mm-mm.
that isn't like
No way, man.
your living daughter to attach
Honestly,
to.
like thinking back to it, he was probably trying to get it done before mom got home.
I could see that.
Yeah. He's like, we don't have fucking time to do this the right way, Rachel. Tie this shit around your waist. I'm going to tie the other end around the tree. There was probably like 15, 20 feet of length
It's a
between
tall
me
tree.
and tree. It is a big ass tree.
It was a
And then
big tree. I
so
want to
dad
say like
was
40 feet
like,
easily.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, dad was just like, okay, I'm going to start cutting. And when I tell you to run, Rachel, then
Oh
you
my,
need to just
oh my
gun
god.
it. And then when I tell you to turn, you need to turn.
Oh
I
my
was like,
god.
okay, dad. And at the fucking ready in my sprinting pose, and he's got the saw. There's like no slack in the rope, and I'm like, I'm fucking doing this.
And how old are you
And
for this?
I have literally no idea.
I want to
Elementary
say you were
school,
under 10.
absolutely, I was under 10. Yeah, I would say
Wonderful. Okay,
between
please continue.
5 and 10, prime
Jesus. Prime
age
tree
too.
felling age.
And then mom showed up and she said,
Oops.
like, I was getting out of the car before I was like putting the car in park. Because we live in a cul-de-sac, so you can like see what's happening and just continuously
Oh
get
yeah.
closer. She was like, "Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?" And I was like, "I'm helping Dad cut down this tree, Ma."
No, you're not. Man, just so many questions about like the whole process.
I thought it
Dad
was a
loved to
decent idea.
I mean, I bet he did think that. I don't know if Dad would ever intentionally act on something he thought was a bad idea. I'll say that for him.
Mm-hmm,
But I don't know if that
mm-hmm.
everything he thought was a good idea was a good idea either
Yeah, no, yeah, Dad would never, ever, ever put me in danger
on purpose.
on purpose, and he truly thought that this was the perfect plan.
God.
And I just remember being so fucking like I'm gonna pull this fucking tree down and
That sounds
save the house.
as as a 10-year-old, that would be fucking awesome.
Right.
Yeah, to be like, I pulled down a whole ass tree. It was
Right.
taller than my house. I saved our home. Superhero.
Precisely. Yeah,
Yeah.
like what do you and your dad do for bonding? Paint each other's nails? Pff, fucking pansies. I pull trees
Dumb.
down.
That's what me and my dad do.
We're tree
Speaking of,
pullers.
so, speaking of Dad and his projects, I have the one story that comes to my mind that I was unfortunately, not directly like part of was the time he drilled a hole through his hand while building a deck. And I remember because I was playing in the backyard and Dad was building the deck, which Mom refers to as the deck that ate Lino Lakes because it just became this huge like neighborhood
It's
wide project.
so
I was so
large.
young when it was happening. Like I vaguely remember like portions of this, and like we can get into that for later stories. But like 7 to 8 grown men moving a, a porch like
Mm-hmm.
200 feet with their hands and no
Mm-hmm.
machinery at all. It was very Amish. Um, but yeah, so anyways, so we're in the part of the backyard, like right behind the garage, and there's like that hill right behind the garage where it kind of slopes downwards a little bit.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Dad is like standing. He's on like a very small step ladder, and he's using a very large bore bit to like drill guide holes in the side of a
It's
two
like
by four
the ratios are off here.
to make like guide holes so we can throw like a big screw in there to screw a deck together. I don't know. Even now, as a 36-year-old man, I'm not exactly sure what the fuck he was doing or how he was doing it.
He didn't know
But
what the
but in
fuck.
retrospect, yeah, I don't think he did either, because he had the brilliant idea to like try and get like better leverage on it. So he switched the drill to his left hand. He's right-handed. He switched the drill to his left hand. For those of you who didn't know our father, and was drilling one. It's like something out of like you're watching it happen on like a sitcom where like in my memory I remember seeing him apply the drill, hit the trigger, it goes bzzz, right, and like jumps, and then like I can like see myself turning away and then looking back at dad holding his hand and swearing loudly as like blood gushes out from between his fingers. Runs, he's like, Robert, go inside and tell your mom we need to go to the hospital. I was like, okay, I don't know what that is, but okay. So I run inside the garage and I was like, Mom, Dad says we gotta go to the hospital. We gotta go to the emergency room. We gotta go to the emergency room.
Yeah,
And
just
we
like
get
within
in the
the
fucking
fucking
car
context.
and we live in Lino Lake, so everything is 30 minutes away, no matter what direction or where it is. We drive fucking 30 minutes, I'm sure, to the emergency room with Dad's just like ever growing collection of rags and towels around like the meat
It's
of his
dude.
right
It's he
hand.
was probably using the bandanas that he sweat his ass off into
He absolutely
around
would
his
have been
head.
using one of these
Yeah,
several bandanas he has on at all times.
on his person.
And yeah, he just straight up drilled a fucking like quarter-inch diameter hole. It is like all the way through his hand, man. How do you do that? How do you do that? And then somehow, miraculously, Dad had this wild luck with like injuries and illnesses where it was like never actually as catastrophic as it should
Mm-hmm.
have been, because he like missed the major tendons, he missed the major bones. It was literally just the meat of his hand that he made like a fuck. I'm making a sign with my. It's like a size of a quarter, right?
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
silver dollar almost. Like like clear through. Like you could watch TV through it.
Oh, I
God
don't.
forbid he never did. I think I'm not sure. I wasn't around. Uh,
Um,
Go ahead.
quick follow up story about that is that when after he did, he got his hand stitched, and that was back in the day when their stitches were just like black and like pff, like all over.
Yes, I
And I
remember.
remember telling him yes, and I remember telling him that they look like spider legs, and they freaked me the fuck out.
I remember that
And
as
then
well.
Dad was pooping, and I walked in, and instead of him just saying "excuse me," he just like shoved his spider stitch hand, and he's like, ugh.
Spider hands.
Didn't say anything besides just like fucking ugh.
Just a primordial sound.
Yes.
Spiders.
Yeah, he went
Get
ugh,
you
and
the
I went
fuck out of that
ugh,
bathroom.
and then I ran out of the bathroom instead of just saying like, oh, sorry
So
honey.
I mean, you were young for that. I feel like must have been
That
like
I will literally never forget the image of Dad sitting on the toilet shoving his spider hand in my face.
you had to have been
But
like 4 or 5 or something for that, because I think
yeah,
I was under 10 when Dad drilled through his fucking hand,
yeah, I was very young.
which is wild to like put that together, because now I'm piecing together a timeline. So like the tree thing must have been post drilling a hole in his hand. Like you think he would learn his lesson.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
if I'm anything like our father, which I am, I don't learn my lesson either. So I
Yeah,
could see
me
him
too.
just doing that over and over again.
Yeah, yeah.
Only one way to learn things: the hard way. Some kids got to piss on the fence, and that's an allegory that Dad told me once that I will explain on it, because we got to save something for other episodes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, but let's put on my coach hat really quick, and let's do our
yeah. All
check-in.
right, take your
You
brother
want to do
hat
that?
off.
Get out of here, bro hat.
Put
Put our coach hat on. You sound thrilled, by the
take
way,
it.
to do a check-in right now.
Okay, that
You're
is
you you have you
because
had a deep sigh.
I am V tired. I have my
Okay.
birthday party tomorrow that I am not prepared for in any way.
Okay.
And I'm scared that my daughter's going to wake up because the 2 year sleep regression has hit us in the fucking face. So,
Wonderful. All of it. Yeah,
yeah.
we're not recording next to each other this time. I'm sure the audio quality would be very different for people listening. But we're trying a new
Yeah.
platform to do this on the internet.
So please tell us, listeners across the nation and the world. We actually, I think we had somebody listen in Japan.
Really?
So, yeah, international, baby.
That is fun. Look at us go.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So if you're in somewhere cool, check in. If you think we sound better, check in. If you
Let
think
us
we sound
know.
worse, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, keep it to yourself. Keep your stupid pocket. Keep your stupid comments in your pocket. I should make an email for this. Hit us up at rfpodcast@gmail.com. I'll make
Can't
that.
you comment on Spotify?
Probably.
Actually, I know you can comment on Spotify, but like I have also heard from people that it's like kind of weird. But
I
yeah, sure,
didn't
you
know it
can
was an
email if you
option
want.
even. This is great
Yeah.
content, by the way. We should move on. So we are, we are. This is how the sausage gets made, folks. So we are 2 weeks in to our like training journey here, a little adventure, our quest.
Yes,
Yes,
I've
last
been on it like a week earlier, but
okay, but like I've been a part of it
right, right,
for
right.
2 weeks. Yeah, since we've
Yes,
recorded the first episode, which is my inception into the entire project.
right.
So like any mediocre white man, I'm measuring everything from my personal perspective because that's how the world needs to be measured.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, nothing else matters. So we're 2 weeks in. Last week we did a check-in, but it was just over the phone. We didn't record that. I think it was very productive, that first check-in. I think we got a lot
Yeah.
of good data and good info. Like I feel pretty good overall about kind of just how things have been going. We've
Mm-hmm.
been so I gave you homework at the end of the last episode to track your food, to journal your
Yes.
food in some way.
Yes.
And one of the things we spoke about, I think, off the air post that was a couple of different options for doing that, and you opted to post about it on Instagram. And I've noticed that you made it so that like only I can see it. How did you do that?
You can set it to either follow all followers or close friends.
Oh, okay. So that's what the little green star means
Yes.
on there. Okay, cool. See, I am an old enough millennial to not fully understand that by itself.
Dude, I barely understand Instagram. I'm like, well, I guess I have to be on fucking Instagram since that's your main thing.
Goes like a bang, IG. But yeah, so you've been really consistent posting that. So I get stuff like that from every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I'm like the close friend status, whatever, it's like pushed higher up in my algo, whatever, and I like it and we comment
Oh,
about it
that
and
makes
stuff
sense.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
pull that bad boy up right now so we can get a better view of the stuff. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
so what?
the
Go ahead.
sorry, the very first time I tried to do a dinner that had a lot of different ingredients, I
Mhm.
video messaged you and I was like, I don't want to fucking put this all into my fitness pal and, put in half an avocado, half an onion,
Yeah,
2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, which apparently has 75 grams of fucking fat. Um,
it's a lot. Mayonnaise is
God,
just fat.
whatever.
Again, there's no judgment on it. I'm just like I need to give you the facts.
But like, okay, this is all coming from because I got a fucking wrap at a Jersey Mike's, and I was just like,
Eric, Eric.
look at
Yeah.
me, rebranding as a skinny bitch with my wheat wrap and just
Hmm.
turkey and cheese, and I feel so good about it. And then I looked into the nutrition information, and it was
Yeah.
just like, because you got some mayonnaise on it, I think it was like 32 grams of fat or something. Um,
That does feel high.
I'm saying, and like this sandwich was not drowned in mayonnaise. There was mayo in the room, but I wasn't swimming in
But I
it.
did not inhale. Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I was like, and that's another thing that fucking gets me with
Hmm.
healthy eating is that you try to eat healthy and then you find out that you're still fucking failing, or you try to eat healthy and you find out that spinach gives you E. coli, and it's just like then I might as well eat shit all day if spinach is gonna make me shit weird or whatever E. coli does to you. I don't know.
I think so. Does spinach give you E. coli? Or is it
Yeah,
like a bad batch thing?
it's like spinach or lettuce that is like always has E. coli. Why is there so much
What?
poop on lettuce? I don't know.
Dude, that's a whole other conversation about food safety procedures.
Yeah, right. So that's just kind of aggravating. But
Yeah.
um, so going back to not wanting to log all of that in MyFitnessPal, which is helpful to look at the micronutrients and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and maybe later in the game I'll be more willing to do that. But just I was like, there's no way I'm going to actually log correctly everything to like fulfill this homework assignment. So I just started posting pictures of
Yeah.
my shake and stuff. And so we had our conversation about coffee, which made me upset
We did. Do we let's hash that out a little bit
a little
for the
bit. Yeah,
people. For the people. All right.
yeah.
So you sent me, I think in the initial video, you mentioned that you had gotten your coffee, and that you put so much stuff because you like the fancy coffees, right? You get the
Well, okay. So in the morning, I have like regular brewed coffee, and I will
yeah,
add creamer to it. Normally, I try to get the creamer that is like actual milk and sugar or whatever.
sure.
And then when I go out and get fancy coffee, I always get a caramel latte, no matter where I am. Iced caramel latte.
Hmm.
I'm
That's
tired.
good. I get it. I get it. And then I believe in my response, I said that we're gonna have a conversation about coffee. And that conversation basically boiled down to it's like the calories in a fancy coffee, a foofy coffee, whatever, is such low hanging fruit because we talked about that like establishing low
Hmm.
hanging fruit, like doing the easy things first, like swapping or changing or eliminating those calories is so easy. Um, I mean, you could say just drink black
That's such a
coffee,
skinny bitch thing to say.
but you just I should say it's easy like academically. It's easy like doing algebra is quote unquote easy because it's just like
Okay,
set
okay,
things that are whatever. It is hard for me to do algebra because my brain is bad at it. But it is easy quote because there is like a very rote sense of ways to do things here. It is
right.
simple. I should say that, not easy. It is simple.
Mm-hmm.
Removing those calories would be simple. It would be a low mind stress, like low mind power way to easily eliminate 700 something calories from a very regular basis.
Okay.
Rachel is clutching her pearls on the camera here.
I am fucking gonna find out. There's no way my shit has 700 calories.
I am thrilled to watch you Google this in live. You do that, and I'll continue talking. But we did have a little conversation about a non-negotiable, which I think is an extremely valuable thing to have in a sustainable diet plan. We talked a little bit about that word too, diet, the D word,
Mm-hmm.
um, and how I think that at least for my clients, the way I coach, nutrition awareness, diet isn't something that you like buy in a book. It's not like a package. It's not a program that you follow. Your diet is the way that you interact with food. It is the amount and the type of fuel that you're putting into your body. The word we used in college was foodway because I studied anthropology and we talked a lot about how people and culture relate to food, and we called that a foodway. I've always liked that a little bit more. But your diet, your foodway, should have a non-negotiable in it in order for it to be sustainable. If the coffee that you like is something that your life, like your quality of life, like significantly dips, like without it completely, then we have to budget around keeping that, to use the terminology, little treat in there, like the internet parlance, a little treat just for me.
You sound
Um,
like Tom Haverford.
it's a little treat just for me.
Treat yo
Uh,
Sam.
Treat yourself, and you should be able to treat yourself on a regular basis. Like you're a human being who like goes to work and raises a child and has responsibilities. Like you shouldn't, like at no point. We talked a little bit before about how eventually we're going to have to do challenging things and we're going to have to like push through uncomfortable things, but at no point should you hate your fucking life all the time. And if having caramel flavoring in your coffee allows you to not hate your fucking life all the time, then like fucking go for it. But there are other options, substitutions that we can make. We talked about that, about getting low sugar, whatever, lower calorie, skim milk, stuff like that. And it sounds like you've worked on making some of those changes. Has that been so far amenable to your
Okay. Suck
tastes?
my skinny dick. It has 300 calories.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
bitch.
So maybe 700. What size?
A medium. I only get a medium, and this is just their regular, so it probably comes with whole milk. So your bitch is
Wow.
probably at like 200 minimum.
Wow. Okay. Still, it adds up quick over the course of a week. You get a couple of those.
Okay,
So
whatever.
fun fact: a pound of fat has 3,500 calories, and a pound of muscle has 2,500 calories. And the
Okay.
way your body uses calories, I think we should probably talk about calories a little bit and like macronutrients, but maybe today, maybe at a later point, whenever we feel more ready for that. But like the calorie and its relationship with our food way and the way that calories are perceived and I think used by certain people requires a little bit of conversation around it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because let's get into it right now. I'm feeling like a fucking nerd about this. All right, so a calorie is, in its most basal form, a unit of thermal energy. It is the amount of heat energy used to raise 1 cubic centimeter of water by 1 degree centigrade. That is what a calorie is. And right, super the double thumb. Very interesting, Rob. How useful to me. What does
I
this
am
mean?
enthralled.
Isn't this fascinating stuff? This is interesting to me. I'm very sorry. So the reason I bring that up is because I feel like the word calorie is so like thrown around, and there's a lot of like baggage attached to it, especially nowadays, especially with diet culture,
Mm-hmm.
right? Calories are this, calories are good calories, bad calories, calories in, calories out. We hear it so many times. I hear it on my algorithm all the fucking time, but that's because that's the circles that I'm in, whatever. But I think it pays to be able to divest ourselves emotionally from the idea that a calorie can be good or bad, and that a food is not good or bad, that a food is like progress supporting, it is goal supporting, or it is not goal supporting, or it is like kind of goal neutral.
Okay.
And you're to tie it back, the coffee, I think, at at its full power, at its full tastiness, is probably goal negative, but we can turn it into something that is goal neutral for
Right.
our weight loss goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
mean, I think not because I used to do a large and whole
mm-hmm,
milk. So stepping it down. We're only in week 2.
mm-hmm,
We're doing it. We're working on it. Yeah. And another big change that I've done is not do a bunch of nighttime eating,
yeah,
which is absolutely humongous. And so I've reached out to the very small amount of fat friends I have.
okay,
Um, I'm like, where are all my fat bitches at? I'm
this
uh,
is a
trying to
call
get
out
you
to
to listen.
listeners.
Yeah, right. If you're fat, hit me up.
Hit me
Um,
up.
because I want like another fat person's view. I was talking
Mm-hmm,
to a friend of mine a couple days or yesterday, and I was just like, I don't know how interested people are, like skinny people or just like people that aren't obese, how interested they are in hearing about me like bitch about what it's like to be fat. Because for you, I was saying for you, this is a podcast about being a trainer and stuff like that. And for me, it's a podcast about being a overweight person.
sure.
And yeah, and I was talking to mom, and I was saying, sorry, but I was like, Rob actually thinks he's gonna get me to lose weight.
Fuck
I
me
was
for
like,
having faith in you, I guess.
right. I was just like, Rob like thinks that this is the thing that's gonna make me like lose the fucking weight, and mom was just like, yeah, you fucking should think that way. He's your trainer,
Thanks,
and
mom.
yeah,
My mom believes in me. I don't know why you don't.
Yeah, so I was just like, yeah, I guess that's fucking true. And I was also saying, it's a different. Yeah, I was saying my previous coach,
Mhm.
Luke, shout out to Luke. He's a homie, and he had always been like, man, and like of all the clients I have, I would love for you to be able to get this shit done.
Yeah.
And I do firmly believe that, but he's not as invested as my brother. And I can just stop responding to Luke, and he won't like stalk me or be at my family Christmas. Um,
I will see you. I literally know where you live. I've been there.
so I think that's like a good added pressure,
Sure.
and so, um, but I also want to just talk about the realities of, being fat and stuff, and just being able to like say, especially say in a podcast, like I eat a bunch at night, is definitely not something that I thought I would be open to saying. But now that I'm
Mm.
like talking about it, I'm just talking to everybody about it. I'm like, have you heard my podcast about being fat? I eat a ton at night.
About being fat. I think I
So,
think that's good. We've talked about this a lot about how I think like this experience that you're having is very valuable that other people don't feel like isolated, like alone about it, you know?
hmm yeah, and that's what my friend was saying, who's not an overweight person, and he was just like, yeah, like I'll just completely zone out when I'm eating. And I'm like, that's so weird because you don't look like you zone out when you eat.
God. Is
You
that
look like
is
you're,
that is that sizest to say like you don't look like you eat a lot without thinking about it?
yeah, yeah.
So like
I
reverse
think
reverse sizeism?
I think it's like an inclusive space. Like my story about when I went to Torrid, which is a
Yes.
plus size real clothes store.
Yeah.
And in Coon Rapids, in the Riverdale Mall, they have Lane Bryant, Maurice's, that also sells plus sizes, and Torrid. And they're all connected, like in the same little outdoor strip mall thing. And then right next door,
Hmm.
Something Sweet by Maddie Lou, the bakery, got built.
Yup.
And I just thought that was hilarious and ironic. And we were talking about, well, I brought it up when I was checking out at Torrid, and talking to them
Yeah.
like they're my fucking homies, because that's how I talk to everybody. And I
It's
was
true.
just like, you guys, don't you? Yeah, I was like, you guys, don't you think it's kind of funny that the bakery is set up shop in the
Yeah.
same strip? And they were like, there's like three of them, and they were like, no, we don't. Why? Why would that be funny?
Yeah.
What?
Because like are you going to make me say it?
Right?
Do I need
Right?
to say it? Do I need to say it to you?
And I'm like,
Are we
ladies,
allowed
we
to
all
say it?
got here because of cupcakes. So,
We're not here because we ate too many vegetables. All right.
right.
Yeah.
You can, yeah. I mean, I think yes, obviously humor is somewhat of a coping mechanism for my weight, but like you cannot be a not funny fat bitch. Like that
You
just
okay? So something you've talked about many times over the year that I really hope and wish you pursue is like this book you want to talk about called like
mm-hmm.
Rules for Being a Fat Girl or something like that.
Yes.
Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit more about that. Let's unpack that a
Like
tiny bit.
the fatty's Bible or something. Um Tubby McFatfuck's Book of Rules.
God.
Um
Well, the example you always give is that one of your friends has like a cupcake air freshener.
mhm.
It smells like a cupcake, and you're like, I couldn't do that because
Yes,
your
it's a
friend isn't
car air
overweight.
freshener.
Yeah.
Yes, and because I know if somebody gets into a skinny bitch's car and it smells like cupcakes, they think, "Ooh, that must be a good air freshener." If somebody gets into a fat bitch's car, they say, "Where's the cupcakes?"
You got them under your seat. It's like a
If
Glock or
if
something.
you get into a chair and it squeaks and you're a skinny bitch, oh, what's wrong with the chair?
Hmm.
If you get into a chair and it squeaks and you're a fat bitch, it's not mechanical.
It's not. Yeah. It's not an oil thing, is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is my some samples of my
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah. Which again, I think is a valuable thing to bring out to talk about because these are things that every overweight person deals with. I have been overweight in my life. Most of my life, I was pretty out of shape. I guess by the math, it's getting less and less. But like I never, whatever. Like sitting in chairs and being afraid they're gonna fucking break is like a real thing that like most people
Right.
don't have to think about. But when you're
Yes.
overweight, when you're very overweight, it comes up, and there's so much like fear wrapped up in that and like
Dude,
shame
yeah,
wrapped
I'm
up in that.
terrified of chairs. Yeah.
So the
Like when I
floor, rocks, a good stump, any
on
day. A chair,
yeah,
forget about
the
it.
world can
Man-made.
hold this ass, but I don't know about that lawn chair.
Excuse me. That is very funny.
Going yeah, like going to like bonfires and they're like, "Oh, grab a seat." And I'm like, "That feebly motherfucker? I don't think
Yeah.
so."
Pull up one of these logs.
Right.
Do that. I'm a force of nature. I need to sit on some nature.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
So,
think what we if we can boil this down a little bit, I think that's what's valuable to bring up is that a a what am I trying to say? How do I put this? Weight loss, a bodily transformation, a lifestyle shift like this, like any kind of lifestyle shift, no matter what you're doing, but like weight loss in particular in America, we've talked about that culture a little bit,
mhm.
is such an emotional experience. Like there's so much
Mhm.
emotion tied up into it. Highs,
Mhm.
lows, middles, mostly bad emotions, mostly bad feelings. Um, and it can be like this feedback loop where I think there's a lot of information out there and a lot of attitude out there put out by people who are, as you identify, skinny bitches who make it sound like it should be easy. And I used that word earlier in this very podcast. It would be easy to eliminate these calories. It would be easy to do XYZ when it's not easy. It's in fact very
Mhm.
fucking hard because it's very
Mhm.
scary to do change. Even change that you know is good, even change that will be long term healthy, even change that will affect your progress in a positive way towards this goal that you have that is very important to you, being around for
Right.
your daughter, being able to keep up with your daughter. But it requires like the the evolution or the discarding of these small everyday things that have been a part of what makes you who you are for so long that
Right.
getting rid of it is like cutting off fingers, right?
Yeah, man.
It's like quitting smoking, which both of us have done. Like it's
Yeah.
difficult
Yeah. True that.
because it's like this habit. It's just part of who you are. It's like, oh, hi, I'm Rob. I am a smoker, and then all of a sudden that part of my identity is gone. Like it's not a great part of my identity. I'm glad that I got rid of it. It was hard to do in the time because there was so much of like how I relate, not only how I relate to the world outside of me, but how the world outside relates to me, like how the world outside relates to you as an overweight person, like with the size. There's like one of these extremely visible physical characteristics that you've mentioned that you cannot hide,
Right.
right? That like you get used to it,
Mhm.
it's like
Mhm.
what do they say, like boiling a frog, you have to do it very very
Yeah.
slowly
Right.
so that they don't realize that's happening until it's too late. Like that's what it is. That's what our habits get to us. You can boil the frog in a positive way or in a negative way. It depends on if you like to eat frog, I guess. but
Sure,
but
it's
the
a very
point
lean protein.
Right, but the point is, I see all these posts and stuff, and one of the reasons for having a personal trainer, for having a coach, I believe, is that yes, weight loss is simple. It is exceedingly simple. It is just
Right. I know how to lose
math.
weight.
Yeah, calories in, calories out. The end. It's literally like a subtraction problem. That's all you have. Even I can do subtraction, like in my head. But there's so much tied up in that subtraction problem because you're literally subtracting. Whoa, here we go. You're literally subtracting yourself. Holy shit. You're literally subtracting yourself, parts of yourself, to create this new evolution, this
Right.
rebrand as the skinny bitch that
Yes.
we're all going for, right? I realize that's an
Yeah,
enormous rant I just went on, so I apologize if that is as interesting as the calories thing for most people.
I think it was more
Um,
interesting. I will follow up with saying
Thank you.
that yeah, the feat of someone just saying like, oh, we'll just eat less kind of thing, to me is
Yeah.
kind of like someone's that is shy,
Mm.
and I don't understand what it's like to be shy. I don't understand what it's like to like have trouble making friends, bro. I fucking we had a when I was in Girl Scouts. Mom was the troop leader. I was
Yeah.
a Girl Scout for quite a long time, and we had a fucking talent show. And I said for my
Okay.
talent, my talent was going to be making new friends.
That's adorable.
And Mom said, "How are you gonna do that, honey?" And I was just like, "Well, we meet at a church. I think there'll be a lot of people walking by. I can just
Amazing.
wave one down and make them my new best friend."
That is the purest thing I have ever heard in my life.
So
How
I've
old were you
always,
for this? Like 8?
uh, yeah, like fourth grade, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, that
Um,
sounds about right.
Yeah. So, so like, yeah, I understand it's simple to like how to become a thinner person is to eat less, and how to become a more outgoing person is to talk more. But like, if you're incredibly shy, or if
Yeah.
you have an incredible struggle with food addiction, it's a lot harder than just saying. Because to me, yeah, it's so bitch, just talk more. Oh my god, open your mouth.
Open your mouth.
And for me, they're like, oh my god, bitch, close your mouth.
There it is. I was waiting for that joke. That was the obvious next one. Thank you so much. You have such good material, Rachel. God. Ooh. So let's reel it back. Let's digress here to specifically our program. What we're
Okay,
doing
okay,
here.
okay.
In the past 2 weeks. So last week, like I said, we met. We felt pretty good. Our biggest challenge then was, and I'm gonna guess continues to be, black and white thinking, all or nothing attitude.
Right.
I want to know like what's working so far, and if there's been any like new or unforeseen obstacles that have kind of cropped up in the last week.
What's working so far, I think, is the Instagram posting,
Mm.
knowing that I need to be truthful because it is purely data. You know, the thing that you said to me stuck with like it's literally just data,
Yeah.
and not a judgment thing. And I I almost like I told you, I ate half a Reese's bunny. Okay, so my client, who is fantastic,
Okay.
she always gives me just a plethora of chocolate.
Deep cut to our childhood. Okay.
Specifically Reese's. Reese's is my favorite candy.
Mhm.
So she just like fucks me up with Reese's. Um,
Fuck me up
and
with those Reese's eggs, bro.
like 3+ weeks ago, I was all about that life. Um,
I'm a different woman now, bitch. Miss me with them eggs.
shit.
Yeah.
Um, so I dosed as much out as I could to Mom and Eric.
Sure.
Um, and there was one single Reese's Easter bunny left, and I was just like, God, I love bunnies and peanut butter.
A match made in heaven.
But I ended up just late night eating half of the bunny instead
Hmm.
of the entire bunny. And while I was like deciding what I wanted to eat, I was like scanning the kitchen for like possibilities.
Yeah.
Um, and I was just like, okay, so I want to eat these chips with dip. I want to eat the last ice cream sandwich, and I want to eat the whole bunny. Like that
Yeah.
would have been on my regular self,
Mm.
the regular thing
Yeah.
to do.
That's the menu.
Um,
Yeah.
Right, which sounds asinine, but that's because I'm asininely overweight.
I don't know if that's okay.
Uh,
You get to define yourself. I'll say that.
yes, yeah, yeah. Um, so I'm just trying to think, like asinine, but now I want to be be fine.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Um,
Very good.
so I ate half the bunny, and I was literally thinking about taking a picture and sending it to either you or like a friend or something, and being like, here's half the bunny. I will send you a picture in the morning to prove that this bunny is still there." Because, bro,
Yes.
that bunny was calling my name the entire time I was trying to sleep.
Dude, I believe you. I believe that's what
Like,
a craving is. That's what addiction is. Yes.
right, right. Um,
Did
so
you eat that bunny's ass?
I did
I
not
assume
eat
you ate that.
bunny ass.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I
I
assume you went ears
yeah,
first, because that's the only proper way to eat
I
an
did,
Easter
but then I
bunny.
had regrets because I said, I bet that ass is full of peanut butter.
Just chock full with the PB.
If I had a nickel,
For every time I looked at a rabbit and said, I bet that ass is chock full of peanut butter. I'd have at least 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
I'd have so many nickels.
I'd have so many.
Um,
I'd be really rich. That's another deep cut. Fuck me, dude.
yep, yep, sure is,
Oh
sure is.
man.
Uh, yeah. So, which to me, I was so excited to log it and like write
Yeah.
about it. Because also when I log on Instagram, I will, I'm not. It's me as well. I'm not going to just be like 7 o'clock breakfast.
Yeah,
Different.
I have really enjoyed the captions that you put on things and the descriptions because it is very editorial. Like there's a lot of Rachel there
Very
in
much so.
every yes, in
There
every
can't
entry.
not be.
Yeah.
Um,
I wouldn't ask you
uh,
to be anything else.
right. Thank you. So, but I was just like, excuse me, brother, I deserve like a personal video message for not eating that bunny ass
Yeah.
because that was a huge accomplishment.
Did you send me a video for that?
No, I didn't. No, I'm saying you should have hyped me up more.
Oh, I think I liked the picture.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think they gave you some engagement.
Don't go too fucking hard there, buddy.
Don't whoa. Whoa, bud. I'm
A
looking at
like, a
your
full heart.
Instagram right now and I'm not seeing that post, bud. Let me go
There
back to
was.
my
I mean, I didn't take a
Instagram.
picture of just the bunny. I can't exactly remember,
There's
but it is
Rachel's
kind of fun
thing.
just to like also. Cause I think it'll be a little fun to look back on it and be like,
Hmm.
huh, I remember when I didn't realize that mayonnaise was so fattening.
Right, honest, yeah, it's like a lie. It is a real time journey of discovery for this stuff. It is a
Mm-hmm.
record of this progress, which I think is very,
Yeah.
very good.
So that's why I kind of like started switching from pictures of food because I'm like, I don't want to go through and delete all these goddamn pictures of food. I'm like
Yeah.
fucking Google Images. So I just started using like pictures of my cute kid and stuff because then it'll just be
Oh,
like
okay.
this little
I
like
did notice a
journal that I
shift in that over the past week or so. Yeah.
yeah because Linnea, my daughter, is significantly cuter than an empty shake cup.
Can confirm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, very good. I think that's wonderful progress, and I celebrate you now. This is me doing that. Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
That
Yeah,
does
my
remind me
so
of another childhood story that I need to tell.
okay.
Okay, thank you. About taking a picture of food. Do you know the story I'm going to tell about the Danish?
Yes, you fucking thief.
So when we were children, okay. So this would have to have been when I was in sixth, seventh, or eighth grade in middle school because
Yeah,
I
when
got up
you're real
earlier than
fat.
you in the day, and I was v fat, and you were a child in elementary school. And the night before, we had gotten Danishes. Undoubtedly, Dad had brought them home after work,
Absolutely.
and there was one left.
Cream
And
cheese.
cream cheese. We all remember it's cream cheese. And Rachel had claimed it for herself to say not to eat it. She wanted to eat it for breakfast the next morning, whatever. Fair play. My fat ass wakes up at like 5:30 in the morning. I remember getting it was like ass early for fucking middle school, dude. And my
Yeah.
sleep addled 12-year-old fat kid brain is like, ooh, Danish. I grabbed that bad boy, and I'm like, wait, I need to be a responsible brother. So I cut it in half, and you only eat half of it, and then leave the rest for my sister, who I think I'm doing a huge favor for by not eating the whole dish. And then I come home after school, and on the countertop is a Polaroid picture that you've taken of, and it's like, it looks like a picture you'd find like in the stash of like a serial killer, like a trope, because it's like the
Absolutely.
lighting is terrible and like the flash was on the granite
Yeah.
countertop, very bad, very just a stark scene. And it's a picture of a half a Danish and written in like angry like fourth grader letters and ballpoint pen and blue ink. It says evidence of the crime on the bottom of it. I think we hung it on the fridge for a long time. Even then I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and I
That's
also
very funny.
I could have left half the Danish, like your half of the Danish, and been like, see the evidence, but I was like, I'm gonna take a picture of this and smash it.
And then eat it. Yeah, absolutely. No, 100%. No, we all know the score. We know what's going on here. You're still going to eat that Danish.
Right, 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 right.
What happened to that evidence, Officer Finlayson? Oh, I don't know. That's crazy. This is weird. Got
Cream
crumbs all
cheese
over
on
your
that.
uniform there. That's crazy. I was investigating a murder in a bakery earlier. So what's okay? So we know what's going well. Is there anything that
Mhm.
we should change? Or is there anything that you want to change?
I don't necessarily think so. I mean, I am trying to. I'm very much keeping in mind what Missy the therapist says about
Mm-hmm.
the sustainability of it, and if you go too fucking hard, then it's not going to work.
Yep.
And then so I try not to go too hard. We had a conversation about weighing myself every day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I originally had a goal of hitting a certain number by my birthday party, which is tomorrow. And I was on track. This is before I talked to you. And I
Oh,
like
okay.
was cruising because I gave myself like 8 weeks to lose about 20 pounds.
Sure.
And I was just like, yeah, I can fucking do it. And I was cruising and I was holy moly gonna hit that goal. And then I was like, skirt, just kidding. And
Skirt, skirt. Yeah.
then I had, like 5 days of just going on a fucking bender. Like, find me in, instead of like a trap house, it's like McDonald's, and I'm just like covered in
Find me in the
mayonnaise.
drive-through. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going down.
Um, but because of that, I am probably going to be about like 3 pounds shy of it. But I'm
Mm.
incredibly annoyed. And because of that, I'm like, you know, well, fuck it. Then I'm going to eat blah, 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 blah.
Ah.
So, which wasn't as bad as normal, like Linnea was eating her turtles, not goldfish, turtles, because they're from Aldi.
Oh, okay.
She thinks they're dinos, which makes her more excited, whatever.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah. And then so I definitely ate a few handfuls of turtles along with her. Um,
It could
and
be
then, oh yeah,
worse. That's not a bad
it
like
could be
slip
worse.
and fall.
Right. Yes. Last night, I wanted to eat, nighttime eat, and I had
Yep.
uh, some pistachios, and I felt all guilty about it, and I was just like, "Oh my god, LOL to me a month ago, eating an
Right.
entire bunny, an ice cream sandwich, and chips," and I'm just like, "God damn it, I had 14 pistachios! I'm such a fat idiot."
Oh, gosh, Napoleon. Gosha.
So I think I think honestly, your coaching is just as important as my therapy with getting through this. Like not well,
Yeah.
like with continuing making sure it's not a crash and burn.
Mm-hmm.
So I think uh, it's interesting what you think are low hanging fruits and what I think are low hanging fruits. I'm like, bro, I am
Oh.
getting skim milk in my caramel coffee. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Get off my jock.
Get off my
Um,
fucking jock, bro. Dude, give me a fucking
I
break.
got I got a wheat wrap, and yes, it had mayo on it, but it's not the giant
It's
white
about
sauce.
these little steps. It's about these little steps, right? Inches make miles. I say that to my clients all the time. Inches make miles. We gotta make these teeny tiny little changes, and they'll add up into like
Right,
one really big change, right? Which
right,
is, I think, right now we're seeing that already in this nighttime eating thing, and how it's not like completely eliminated, but you're like policing yourself so much more with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like you're so much more like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like you're like very
Conservative.
aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're very
Yeah.
aware of it and you're very conscious. I think that's a really good step in a very good direction.
Yeah, I think, and I'm trying to be a lot more present in my nighttime eating. So like, I'll
Mm,
make a rule for myself that I can't have my phone, and I can't sit.
awesome. Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
I have to stand and be present,
Mm.
which was an idea for Missy. So
Shout out Missy. Good
God,
idea.
she's the best. So I think it's ironic she's in Hawaii right now, being a piece of shit instead
Ugh.
of therapizing me.
Right?
Um, so, but I
God.
think, yeah. So she hasn't heard
I
anything about the
retract my shout out, Missy.
Actually, never mind.
I unshout
Um,
out. I whisper in. Missy.
yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to get her take on everything as well, because yeah, like I said before, I've known her for half my life, so
Yeah.
you know. But I think and mom. I was thinking about adding mom to the Instagram thing so she could like
Yeah.
chime in about things,
If
because
you
mom knows
want
how to
to.
lose weight like a motherfucker. That's
Yeah. If you want to, absolutely go for it.
yeah.
I really so one thing I did want to bring up. We're getting a little bit long on time here, but one thing I do want to talk about maybe in a later episode is about like because you mentioned you can't stop talking about it to people now all of a sudden when it's something you would never want to
Yes.
mention in the first place. How important social support is and like being like transparent with what you're trying to do, like with any goal, really, like saying you're going to do it, telling people you're going to do it, and then like tacitly or explicitly asking them to hold you accountable to doing it, is like hugely powerful.
Right.
And you're already doing that. We can belabor that point later.
Yeah.
But for right now, I want to get into our best next moves.
Okay.
Uh, what do you? So what? I want to know what you think are a couple of low hanging fruit, because apparently we have different visions on what those
Uh,
might be.
yeah. Right. I for sure am enjoying the Instagram blog
Yeah.
thing or whatever. Um, which yeah, I kept private with between you and me, and then I accidentally uploaded, including all of my weight, and I don't mention my weight in any of the posts except for this one fucking post.
Yeah.
Um, and it accidentally uploaded on Facebook, and then
Oh, you told me about this.
somebody liked it on Facebook, and I
Yeah.
was like, ah!
Q meltdown. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Just like posting on Facebook how like my top weight, my highest weight. Are you kidding me? And the girl that saw it was a girl that I'm friends with, but like was one of the most popular girls in my high school.
Yeah.
So just slowly slit my wrists while I figure out I posted that on
That
Facebook.
was 20 years ago. We are so old, Rachel. High school is so long ago, dude.
Yeah.
Facebook
Anyway,
fucked us all up.
yeah, it did.
Social media was a
Um,
mistake.
I got some indoor. I got some like workout shoes. Um,
Okay.
because I do not like wearing my street shoes in the house and I want to
Mm.
exercise in the house. I found a video for like low impact that has a regular like personal trainer, but then he's got two fatties in the back. So I
That's gonna be in a trucker hat somewhere. I got fatties in the back.
two fatties in the back.
We
Uh,
make merch. That's gotta be on a shirt.
so I thought, hey, I'll follow along with these fat asses,
Yeah.
and
How did
so
you
I
find
think
it?
that
Was
is.
it was it grueling? Was it enjoyable? Was it doable?
I didn't do it because I didn't have shoes.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you find it
So
enjoyable.
yes, so I got some shoes, and then I
Mm.
also talked to you about getting the trampoline, which you
Yes.
thought sounded silly. Whatever.
No, okay.
Um,
Here's I believe my wording was I think it's probably a very good workout, but I wouldn't go posting about it on social media because
because you look like a
it's gonna look
fat piece of shit.
goofy as fuck.
Yeah,
Because it's gonna look
yeah.
fat because you look like a fucking dork. There's a difference. There's a different reason to be
Fat dork.
ashamed.
That's the worst kind of
There's a
dork.
different reason to be ashamed of this behavior.
Yeah, no.
If
And,
I'm afraid of something looking too nerdy, dude, it's gotta be like next level. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. True, true, true. Yeah. So yeah, I just got the shoes today.
Okay.
Um, and so I think hopefully the people do want once a week episodes. We should ask them how they feel about doing weekly, but like mini things, not an hour, just like fucking 20-minute
Yeah.
check in, only nutrition, no jokes. Um,
Mm, I literally don't think we can do that.
yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
think we are physically incapable of not making jokes, even in a 30-minute span. We just hit an hour right now.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
We'll be fine.
Yeah. So goals:
Okay.
continue logging on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Um, become the third fatty in the back of this exercise video,
You're a gold
and
mine for this stuff, man. Yeah, okay.
um, and I guess continue doing what I'm doing with the nighttime eating, and
Yeah.
so
Okay. I agree. I like these three things. There's a continuance, there's an upgrade, and there's a new thing. We
ooh
continue
yeah,
we continue tracking. We we upgrade what we're already doing in the kitchen at night, right? You're being more self-aware. You're standing.
yes,
You're not having your phone around. That's a good improvement on that. And we'll get a brand new
yes,
thing, which is these workout videos. So let's do
yes,
that.
okay,
I would love for you to send me the workout video that you found, and then I can
okay,
poke around a little bit and see if I can find some other stuff that you might like as well, from other corners of the internet maybe, and we can
yeah,
collab on that. Because the programming doesn't have to be stuff that I deliver specifically to you. The type of workouts you do is not actually very important until we get much further in to like any kind of goals for fitness. Right now,
right,
it's about movement in general.
yes, for sure.
Perfect.
So, all right, well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, you will. Do before we go, do you have anything you want to plug on the spot on the podcast? Because you get your own grooming business. Do you want to plug that?
No, don't come to me.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't fucking do that,
It-
man. Dog groomer. Who's a dog groomer? Yeah.
What's that?
Some chick at the bar was like, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a dog groomer." And she's like, "Oh, I have a German Shepherd." And I was just like, "Oh, did I say dog groomer? I meant accountant." Because unpopular opinion, I hate German Shepherds. Um,
Oh man.
yeah,
See,
no,
that's funny. When I tell people I'm a personal trainer, no one's ever like, "Oh, critique my fitness," or like, "Oh, like no one says shit when I say I'm a personal trainer." I
really?
don't know if, yeah, I don't know if it's because they're like too uncomfortable. I would probably
Mm,
feel uncomfortable talking about my
yeah,
health and fitness with a stranger, or
true.
if they look at, or if like you've pointed out, they look at me and like this scrawny doughboy. I think not.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
yeah.
bring my fitness questions to this man. His arms are only as wide as a normal person's arms would be.
Yeah, no, being a dog groomer is a great conversation starter, that's for sure. But I only do it. I always say that I have a strict homies only policy.
Mm,
Um, that I will only do people because it's in my own house. So,
yeah,
which
that's
my
true.
kid is in.
Yeah,
I'm weird about it. And I work by myself. And if your dog bites me and I bleed out on the floor, nobody will know. So,
that's true. Well, I don't have a homies only program, so if you want to get in on some of this awesome personal training experience online, find me at rffitness.net, rffitness.net. More fascinating stuff. Rachel, thank you very much.
Rob, thank you very much.
I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I love you. See you tomorrow. Are you gonna get fucked up?
No, I have to work in the morning.
All right, fine.
Sorry.
You know this conversation then.